let's start, you know what, let's start with a little bit of support underneath the back. Do you have either a towel you can roll up or a yoga block or two? And we'll do it like this. Oh, whoops. I opened a screen in front of me so I can't see what you can see. Hang on just a sec. There we go. Okay, so as I show this setup, I'm going to leave the sound on as I'm setting it up. So if you have any questions, just call out. And then as we settle ourselves in, I'll switch over to the mute. So
What are we doing here?
this is in recognition of the fact that we're on screens and seated, and there's a lot of this position happening in our lives right now. We'll lie down to start with a little bit of support under the back to open the front of the chest and broaden the collarbones. And so you can do it a couple different ways depending on what props you have and what resonates for you. The most I'll start with more extreme and then like step it back. So you see what the kind of bigger back bend looks like, and then the more low key as we go. So if you want more back bend and you have two blocks, then it could look like this. And I'm going to show with blankets too. So if you don't have two blocks, do not fear. I got you. Block number one goes across, and right across like the bottom area of the shoulder blades, and the head rests on the block. And you can do it low and medium, or in this case, I've got it medium and high for how the blocks are oriented. So again, since I'm starting with the bigger of the back bends, this would be the setup. And you want to get the round part of your skull to rest. Sometimes as we're trying to position, the block goes tilted. So just make sure that it's nice and steady and upright. And then if that feels like, ooh, that's a bit much, then if you're working with the blocks, you can do the low and the medium, which is a little less back bendy. Yeah, that's it, Connie. So you may have to move your hair clip. Yeah, kind of come up the back of your skull toward your head, the top of your head more. Yeah, more on that spot. And then the blanket options or the towel options include making a little roll for the upper back. And
just feels like that.
I might roll one across the upper back the same way, that same positioning we used for that blanket. And then if I want, I might add a little extra roll for the back of the neck and the head so I feel nicely supported in both spots.
She got 2 blankets.
And before I flip the mute switch, any questions or anybody looking? Connie, that looks really good. Is that comfortable?
Very.
Good. And for Katie and Patty, how about for you guys? Okay, good. All right. I know, Sharon, I can't hear you, but I'm going to assume that if there's an issue, you'll pop up and you'll mention something. Take a moment here. Deepen the breath. Take a generous inhale. Let the breath spread out. Let it go all the way up to the front of the chest. And you might even imagine with your next exhale that you can fill the lungs, the upper chest, and even fill out across the collarbones to the shoulders. And then exhale, let the breath gently go. Just like that. Excuse me. And let the breath widen the rib cage. And gently lift the heart, melt the shoulders. Exhale softly, let it out. Just like that, inhale, broaden and widen. Exhale, let it go. Allow the body to receive the support of the props beneath you, of the earth beneath you. Inhaling, exhaling. Stay right here, following the gentle rhythm of the breath. And allowing the body to gradually open over the props. And while you're here, let the belly rise and fall. And maybe the ribs and the abdomen feel a little sticky. Maybe they're starting to move a bit more. And usually we talk about holding tension in the neck and upper back, or we talk in yoga a lot about holding tension in the hips. But we absolutely hold tension in the abdomen as well. Remember, when our body shifts into that fight, flight, or freeze response, one of the things that happens is the circulation is redirected away from the digestive system, because it takes a lot of energy to digest. And if we were being chased by a tiger, we wouldn't want to expend all of that energy when we're trying to run for our lives. But here, we're probably not needing to run at full speed to escape a predator. And yet that hardwiring is still set up. And so as we deepen the breath, we let the belly move, we let the ribs move, and it starts sending a different signal to the body, to the nervous system. It starts sending the message that, okay, I may not be so sure about how things are going in the next months or even in the next several hours of my day, but right now, in this moment, in this breath, I'm okay, I'm safe. Right here, right now, I'm safe. Safe to soften the belly, Safe to take a slightly deeper breath. Safe to let the shoulders melt down away from the ears a bit. Safe to let some of the muscles in the neck loosen their grip. Not needing right now to contract and protect. Take a few more breaths right here. Now, as you're ready, see how it feels to make little rotational movements. If it doesn't feel steady on the support you're using, don't go bananas with it. A little bit of side to side. This can also be a way of reorienting ourselves to our surroundings, again, reinforcing that message of right now, I'm okay. Right now, I'm safe. And then as you're ready, depending on the support, if you're on a higher support and it feels better to come directly up to seated, feel free to do that or roll to your side. And once you've come over to your side or slowly to upright, move the props out of the way and lie down once again on your back and notice what it feels like in the head and neck, in the shoulders, in the back. Breathing in and breathing out. Now, bring knees toward the chest. If you like windshield wipers, you can leave the feet flat on the mat and sway the knees or draw the knees all the way in and rock from there. The choice is yours. See what feels right in your body in this moment. Place the feet down flat on the mat and let's move around our pelvic clock. Start to warm up a little bit some of the muscles in the torso, in the back, in the abdomen. We'll start with pulling the navel down. So pelvic clock is visualizing that if we had an analog clock dial, the low back would be at 12 o'clock, the tailbone would be at 6 o'clock, and then the circle of the dial connects the two. So we start by pressing 12 o'clock with each exhale. The exhale helps us recruit a few extra muscles that hug in, especially the really deep layer of muscles that wraps around us like an internal lift belt or cummerbund. Inhale, relax the effort, let the breath come in. Exhale, cinch in your cummerbund, cinch in your corset. Inhale, relax the effort. Just like that, cinch in and press 12 o'clock down into the mat. Inhale, relax. Do that a couple more times. And then come to rest right at the center of your dial. Your spine is in neutral. Visualize where 3 and 9 o'clock are located, and then slowly go side to side. And in this way, it looks like a small windshield wiper movement, but what's driving is the pelvis, the muscles of the abdomen. So actively roll across the back of the sacrum and the pelvis. And then on an exhale, actively roll right across to the other side. Inhale, pause there. And exhale all the way across. Inhale, pause there. Exhale all the way across. Visit each side again until you're even, and then come to rest at the center of your clock dial. Our last clock movement will be all the way around the dial. Start with 12 o'clock where we began, pressing the low back down into the mat, and then press where your 1 o'clock is, and then the 2 and the 3. Press the 4, the 5, the 6, there's a back bend in there, and the 7 and 8 and 9, 10, 11, and 12, all the way around your dial. Move as generously as feels appropriate for today, expanding, spiraling out into larger circles. Always to tolerance, then go the other way. It's your body, so you can always adjust the size of the circles or detour around a spot that feels kind of funky. And then back to 12 o'clock and hold 12 o'clock to finish. Hold 12 o'clock, belly draws in and up, low back lengthens, check in with the neck, roll the head a little side to side, and then release it all. Bring the right knee into the chest. Take the left leg and stand on the ceiling. The knee can be bent, make it friendly for your hamstrings. We've got time to stretch them. And slowly lower your left leg all the way down until it touches your mat. Anchor the left heel into the earth and bring the right knee into the chest. Take a few breaths here. I like to imagine a giant rubber band looped over the right knee and underneath the left heel. And what would it take to give a little bit of stretch to that giant rubber band? Can the right knee and the left heel move just a touch further away from each other, giving you space? And again, check in with the neck. Perhaps roll the head a little side to side. Keep the bottom leg stretched out long. Abdominal muscles hugging in a little bit to stabilize this side of the body. Bring the right knee out to the right inner thigh. Stretches, take a couple breaths. Come to center, switch the hands, turn this into a twist now. You can rock a little, get the body used to the idea of the twist, and then guide the knee across the body. The bottom leg will rotate. It's still active, but we're not trying to pin it in that same position. It goes with the whole lower body, goes over to the left. Rotates, that is. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe all the way along this stretched out, twisty spiral of the spine and down into the straight leg. Take another breath here and exhale, come back to center. As you come back to center, place the right foot down, bend the left knee, scoot your hips back so you're in the middle. Bring the left knee into the chest and step on the ceiling with the right leg. Slowly lower the right leg now, all the way down to the mat. Keep the leg active. There's a bit of pressing the heel into the mat, dropping the right thigh bone down into the earth. And then find that imaginary gigantic rubber band that helps the left knee and the right heel move a little further apart. Not to force, just to explore. Explore the space there. Play your edges. You are inside your body. You are in charge of this. Check in with the neck. If it feels nice, roll the head a little side to side. Keep the right leg as it is. Abs are hugging in to help support you. And the left knee goes out to the side. Inner thigh gets some length. The left hand can be helping to support the leg a little or a lot. Again, you get to choose what feels like a good space to work on this side today. Take another breath in. And on an exhale, bring the knee back to center. Change hands. Opposite hand takes the knee. Release the other arm out to the side. and rock your way into a twist. As you guide the knee across the body, remember the whole lower body is rotating to the right, including the bottom leg. Guide your breath all the way along this stretched out spiral that includes not only the spine, but imagine the gentle spiral moving down into the bottom leg as well. Take a couple more breaths right here. Invite the breath into the left side of the chest and the rib cage. Even breathe into the left armpit and the shoulder. And on your next exhale, come back to center. Place the foot down. Place both feet down. Scoot your hips back into center. And from here, draw the knees into the chest once again. Rock a little side to side. Take the legs up in the air. Now, if the hamstrings are feeling like, ooh, there's a lot of stretch right now, keep a bend in the knees when the legs are vertical. If the hamstrings are very happy with the legs being straight, then fabulous. Go ahead and straighten the legs. Bring the arms in close to the body with the palms facing down. And then sometimes with the arms in this position close into the hips, the shoulders will want to peel up toward the ceiling. So let the collarbones broaden and the shoulders melt down toward the earth. And then bring the attention to that internal corset of muscles. And exhale, hug in, cinch in your corset. We'll do little leg lifts. Lower the legs just a few inches. Keep the 12 o'clock position, the low back pulling down. And then raise the legs back to their vertical. Pull the navel down, lower again, and back to vertical. Just like that. It doesn't matter how low the legs get. Our mission here is to stabilize the muscles in the core. And that's why this action is sometimes called core stabilization. So we really are wanting to create a nice structural support for ourselves. If you find that the low back cannot stay down, or if the low back hurts, there's a pretty good chance the legs have gone down too low for the body right now. So if you feel fine and fabulous, and if the abs can still work, maybe the neck can not scrunch up, that'd be good. It's a conversation that continues. I know for me, as the legs get lower, there's a point at which my shoulders, the back of my neck, they really seem to be convinced that they need to help, but they're actually not very useful at helping this movement. Let's do a few more. And then lower the legs this last time to wherever you can sustain it. Stay right there. Take a few breaths. If you're like, oh crap, I'm in trouble, bring the legs up higher. Pull the belly in. And then pull the knees all the way into the chest. Rock gently side to side. Relax the shoulders. Roll the head if it feels good. Take a hand on each knee and circle the knees. Take it nice and slow. Circle the knees out wide away from each other and then back together. Circle the knees out wide and back together. One more time. Take the left foot, place it down on the mat. Take the right leg. Do one side of happy baby, holding the right thigh or walking the right hand up the shin and bringing the knee down toward the right side of the chest or shoulder. How far it goes is up to your body. Play your edge here, make it interesting. Release that, touch the foot down. Take the other leg in happy baby. Knees out, generously wide, holding either the back of the thigh or walking the hand up the shin toward the foot. Rocking, breathing, check in with the neck. Is the head free to roll a bit? Keep the muscles at the back of the neck. Keep reminding them that they can lengthen. Not to force it, just to remind them. Return to center, place both feet down. From here, take the hands on the tops of the thighs, like right where the thigh bones meet your pelvis at the front. And either, if it feels okay, and if like my arms are kind of short and sometimes they feel like they can't quite reach, so you can press with the heel of the hands to the tops of the thighs, or take soft fists to the tops of the thighs. And as you do that, hug in your corset. Exhale, slurp the belly in, cinch in your corset, and press your thighs away all at once. Inhale, relax the effort, leave the hands there. Exhale again, like you're tractioning your spine while you're cinching it. Inhale, relax the effort. Let's do it one more time. Press the thighs away and cinch in. Relax the effort. Release the arms now down to the sides. And we'll do a kind of rolling wave-like bridge. As you press into your feet, press the whole foot. You might even press the heels a little extra. Peel your hips up off the mat and lower them down again. Just like that. If this is feeling comfortable, you might add the arms overhead and reaching behind you as the hips come up, and then floating back down. Press into the feet, squeeze the glutes, lift the pelvis, and raise the arms. Exhale, curling back down. So if you're doing the arm raising along with the hip lifting, see if you can adjust the pace so that when you're at the top of the movement, when the hips are as high as they're going to be, and the arms are as far back behind you overhead as they're going to be, it's the same moment. And then adjust the pace coming down so everything lands right at the same spot. Takes a bit of coordination. Inhaling. Plant the feet, squeeze the glutes. Exhaling, rolling your way down the spine gradually. Just like that. Press the feet, squeeze the glutes, peel your way up and pause there in bridge. Slowly lower down. Now, if it feels good to raise the arms, great, raise the arms again and stay there. If it's not feeling great to raise the arms, then don't raise the arms. It's not mandatory. The only thing that is mandatory is that you breathe. So if you are in bridge pose, stay in bridge pose. Press down with the heels, squeeze the glutes. Can the back of the neck lengthen and release a little bit? If the arms are overhead, leave them there As you slowly, slowly, slowly lower down, feel the ribs and then the low back curls down, and then the pelvis, the sacrum touch down, and stay right there. Feel the length of your spine. Release the arms. Bring one knee into the chest. Bring both knees into the chest. They can be close or wide. Rock side to side. If it feels good to do happy baby with both feet now, do happy baby with both legs. Breathe into the low back. So we did a bit of back bending in our bridge pose. Now lengthen out the low back. Come back to center, rock over to one side, and make your way to tabletop, to hands and knees. And as you find your way into tabletop, place the hands under the shoulders, fingers spread wide, and it's the whole circle of the palm and every finger pad that's pressing down into the mat. Breathing while you're here. Arching and rounding the spine. Lift the navel, round the back. Inhale, arching. Exhale, lift the navel, round the back. Inhale, arching. And just like that again. Now roll your ribs around. Slow, generous circles. Go the other way. And come back to center. Now glide back toward child's pose. Hips drop back and down. And glide forward to our hands and knees position. Again, exhale. Hips go back, palms press down. Inhale, return to tabletop. Exhale, press the hands, hips go back, child's pose. Inhale to tabletop. Take it at your own pace, do a couple more. Lengthen. And the next time you're in child's pose, stay right there. Breathing in, breathing out. See if it feels nice to reach the arms out in front of you. Arrange the head in a position that your neck says okay to. Come back up to tabletop, and from tabletop, take your right arm out to the side and then dive it all the way through until you're on your right shoulder and your left palm is providing some leverage in a twist. Check in with the muscles in the abdomen. Give the low belly a little hugging in. Little bit of support here. The low back and the neck will tend to move more readily in these twists, well, in almost any movement. But we want to encourage some mobility, some openness in the whole rib cage area, in the thoracic spine. Take a couple more breaths here. If you want to walk your left hand out, how does that feel? It can walk out in any direction. I'm being, I guess, intentionally vague. There's not one right spot. Then walk the hand back in so the left palm is on the mat once again. And as you exhale, zip up the belly and press into the palm to come back to center. And then the left arm opens out to the side. Inhale and dive on through with the exhale. Left shoulder on the mat, right palm pressing, and a little bit of zipping up in the belly so you have some stability in the low back in order to encourage mobility in the thoracic spine, in the upper and mid back. Breathe while you're here. Feel free to reposition the right palm if you like. When you're ready, bring the right hand back onto your mat, and with an exhale, zip up the belly and press the palm. Unwind to tabletop. Now from tabletop, walk the hands out in front. We'll leave the hips right about over the knees. We're not trying to go back like child's pose. Leave the hips high, walk the arms out, and take a moment. This is the stretchy part of it. Let your chest melt. Now, of course, listen to your shoulders, your neck. If your forehead is close to the mat but not quite touching, try taking your hands wider. Perhaps lean your hips further back. So a little bit toward child's pose, but not as far as they can go. Let the heart melt. But again, pull the navel into the spine so that we're putting the brakes on the amount of back bend in the low back in order to encourage a bit of back bendy chest opening in the upper and mid back. Now start to walk the hands in. Press the floor away, easy with the neck as you lift the head up off the floor. Come back to tabletop, but this time roll and swirl around. You can roll your shoulders, your hips, turn your head. Take your time, let it feel nice. Change direction whenever you choose. When you're ready, return to your hands and knees position. Let's take the right leg back behind us. Stretch it out long. Lean back into the heel so that you feel, hello baby, so that you feel a stretch in the calf. And now pull the right knee into the chest and hug it. Stretch the leg back long and straight. Lift it if you want. Pull the knee in again and hug it. Stretch the leg back straight. Now bend the knee, the lifted leg, and lift and lower so that your glutes and the back of the thigh are like, oh, hello, I'm working. Good news. Pull the knee in again and step the right foot forward. Once the right foot is forward, tuck the toes. Oh, don't tuck the toes just yet. Bring the right knee so it's just about over the ankle. It doesn't have to stay perfectly vertical, but it's a nice rule of thumb to set up for stability, to have the knee roughly over the ankle. Come up to a low lunge, zip up the belly, raise the arms up overhead. Breathe while you're here. Inhale, I know you guys can't see my head, but that's not really important right now. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Bring the hands down. Shift your weight back. Now, how much you bend the knee and shift the hips back is up to you and your body. the hips come down, the toes of the front foot lift up, and I get a little extra length in the back of the leg. Lean forward, we're back in the lunge. Press into the heel, zip up the belly, lift the heart. Maybe there's a little extra lift to the belly and lift to the chest. Maybe you look up between your hands, see how that feels. If your neck is like, what the hell are you doing? Then don't do that. Do something that your neck agrees with. And bring the hands down. And again, shift back. So you can shift. I find that if I want to go after the hamstring stretch, I like to scooch and wriggle my front foot forward and keep the hips more over the back knee. Then I can flex the foot and mess around in there. You might rotate the straight leg. Turn it in, turn it out. Go slowly. Notice how the sensation may change as you're rotating this front leg. Turning it in, neutral, turning it out. Back to center. Bend the knee. And take the leg back behind you. We're going to sneak a little downward facing dog in and use it to stretch out the legs. So walk the hands, when you're back in tabletop, walk your hands a little in front of the shoulders, tuck the toes underneath, zip up the belly, lift the knees and hips, and press into the hands. Keep the hips high and pedal the feet, walking in place. And sometimes this is called walk the dog. So walking in your downward facing dog. You might come up high on your tiptoes. What does that feel like? You might turn your head a little, letting go of tension in the neck. And then bringing the heels not just down, but imagine the heels are stretching to the back of your mat as they're getting lower. And either stay here for 5 breaths or lower the knees to the mat and take kneeling puppy for 5 breaths or child's pose for 5 breaths. Choose what suits your body today. And we'll all join forces in tabletop. Bring the knees down nice and slowly if you're coming from down dog. Shrug the shoulders down away from the ears. Step the left foot forward. Once the foot comes forward, scooch it, wriggle it, and press down into the heel as you come to upright. Bring the pelvis to upright. I always have to do clothing adjustments as I come up, almost always. Zip up the belly, lift the chest, reach up overhead, breathe. And you decide, you might want to glide, hello sweetie, you might want to glide forward a little bit. Apparently this position is a favorite of the cat. Breathing in. Breathing out. Bring your hands down. Hey. Bring your hands down and let's walk the front foot a little forward. Lift the toes, shift the hips back a bit. And if that hamstring stretch, if the stretch in the back of the leg is like, woo, mama, then maybe add a little bit of slow rocking as you get into it. This isn't the old school bounce in the stretch. We don't do that so much anymore. Turns out it's not especially effective for the stretching. If done aggressively, it's not good for us at all. So, a little soft rocking can help us ease into the movement. All right, let's come back into the lunge. Bending the left knee, zip up the belly as you come up. Pelvis is upright, heart is lifting, arms reach up overhead. Maybe there's a little extra lift in the heart this time, but remember to lift the belly. We are once again in a back bend, using the abs to put the brakes on how much back bend we allow in the lower back, and stepping on the gas pedal when it comes to the upper chest, lifting, opening. Adjust where the head is depending on what your neck prefers. Inhaling and exhaling. Bring the hands down. And let's come into the hamstring stretch again. You might squiggle the foot forward. Shift the hips back a little or a lot. Deep breath in and out. And this last time while we're here, consider rotating the straighter leg. And it's straighter because it may or may not be completely straight. That's not the purpose. Notice what sensation you feel in the back of the leg. And I notice on this side, this is my tighter side. I have an old hamstring injury, and I really feel that little bit of extra tightness that's on this side. On some days more than others, you know? And then from here, bend the knee and plant the foot. Step back to tabletop. And then same choice, child's pose, kneeling puppy, or downward facing dog for 5 generous breaths. The choice is yours. Whatever your choice, cultivate the deepest breath you can take comfortably and let the neck, the back of the neck lengthen. Arms and legs working more in down dog. But not so much the neck. When you're ready, everybody join forces in down dog and walk the hands and the feet together until you're standing, folded over the toes. You might hold opposite elbows and sway. You might rest the forearms on the thighs. Adjust how upside down your body likes to be here. And this is another nice opportunity to check in with the neck. Breathing in, breathing out. Slowly and gently press into the floor. Ragdoll your way up. Feet are planted, belly is lifting in and up. Slowly, slowly, slowly come to upright. And once you're upright, take a moment to roll your shoulders. Breathe here. Almost high enough. There. Oh, that's too much. Stand. Okay. Stand with your feet facing forward. Zip up the belly, and you can be standing either at the front of your mat or simply facing forward, facing the screen. We'll stay in this position for a little bit. I might ask Spirit to guide the next movement. It seems like she's ready for yoga now. Are you? Yeah, you are. Thank you for joining me. Press down, inhale, reach out, reach up. Exhale, bend the knees, slide the hands down the front of the legs, fold down as low as you choose. Hands on the front of the legs, come halfway up. Take a breath in. Fold back down again. Exhale. Press down, rise up. Inhale. Draw a line to your heart. Exhale. Ardha Surya Namaskar, half sun salute. Let's do that again. Press the feet down. Inhale, reach up to the sky. Exhale. Hands slide down the bent legs as low as you choose. Pause. Halfway up again. Pause. Right back down low. Pause. Press down, rise up tall, inhaling. Hands to the heart, exhaling. One more time. Root down, reach up, inhaling. Exhaling down over bent knees. Pause. Halfway up and pause. Back down low again. Pause. All the way up again. Inhale. Draw a line to your heart and pause. Stay right there. And with the palms together, press the palms in a way that makes a little extra space across the collarbones. So I can press the palms in a way that rolls me forward, but we can also, with the thumbs kind of near the sternum, the front of the chest, press in a way that gives you more space. And then release. Take the hands, interlace the fingers lightly, and make figure eights. Go the other way. Turn the palms away from you. Feet planted, belly lifted, spine long. And you can adjust this. If this hand position does not agree with your body today, feel free to have the arms, the hands separate and the arms reaching out. That's perfectly fine. If the interlace and palms pressing away is tolerated reasonably well, keep it that way as the arms go up overhead. Breathe in, lengthen up. Breathe out, side bend to one side. Breathe in, come back. Breathe out over to the other side. Breathe in, come to center. Bend the elbows and bring your hands down so you can see the interlaced fingers. And so if you've got the left hand on top, you're going to switch the thumb and all the fingers so that now the right thumb is on top. And for me, it always feels like I'm holding someone else's hand. So it's almost like the more awkward it feels, the more endorsement that you're doing it right. Take the palms away from you. Again, root down into the feet, zip up the belly, lengthen the spine. Adjust the hand position if needed. Otherwise, take the arms overhead again. Can the index finger side of your palm reach up as much as the pinky finger side of your palm? Ooh, that's interesting. And can all four sides of your waist, front and back and left and right, lengthen? Now up and over to one side. Side bend again. But let's add literally a twist. Pull the navel in and turn your chest down toward the floor. Untwist. Come up to center. Side bend to the other side. Breathe here. Add the twist, turning the chest down. Untwist. Back to center. And release the arms. Let the elbows bend and roll one shoulder and then the other. Roll one and then the other. One more time. And release. From here, let's take the feet wide apart. With the feet wide apart, they'll be facing forward to start. We'll turn the left toes in, bend the right knee, turn the whole right leg out. Heel to heel-ish if you're lining yourself up. And then facing the chest and the shoulders toward the front. Open the arms out wide. Turn the palms up to the sky. Reach up overhead and feel how spacious and long you are, especially with the arms raised, makes me feel like the whole spine gets a little longer too. Keep that, then bend your right knee and open the arms out wide to the sides. Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Inhale, straighten the legs, reach up. Now I'm going to separate my feet a little wider. I feel like maybe there's a bit more room in there. And we'll come in again. Bend the right knee, Warrior 2. Inhale, straighten the legs, reach overhead. Exhale, Warrior 2. This time we'll stay a little while. Press into the right heel. Lift the back thigh, like the left inner thigh. It's like it wants to lift you back out of the pose, but the front knee is bending a lot to keep you in it. Breathe, turn the palms up again. If it feels interesting, look out over the right hand. Press into the feet, inhale, reach up, straighten the legs. Exhale, lower the hands to the hips. Turn the feet to face forward and switch the legs. The right toes turn in, the whole left leg turns out, and bending. Now, we didn't take a look so much at the knee on side one, but as you do bend the knee, we're aiming to track it toward right in line with the center of the foot. So take a peek before we add the arms and see where the knee is bending. For most of us, the tendency is for the knee to kind of tilt in and bend more toward the arch of the foot and the big toe. But we want to engage the glutes on this side. And we can do that by directing the knee toward the baby toe side of the foot. So keep that in mind. Now here's the thing. In order for that to happen with the left leg and the knee, the pelvis will need a little bit of, it's hard to see I think in the video, but I'm not squaring my hips toward you. It's only the shoulders. The pelvis is slightly rotated. And that's what allows, that's part of what allows the knee to track over the front foot. All right, arms out wide. Enough talk about that. Let's do it. Inhale, take the arms overhead. Both legs are straight at the moment. Exhale, bend the left knee, arms out wide. Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1, or 2 rather. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend the left knee, arms wide. One more time. Inhale, reach up, lengthen. Exhale. Now we stay a little while, and as you're keeping the front knee bent, tracking over the center of the foot, the back inner thigh almost wanting to lift you out of the pose. Turn the palms up, look out into the left palm. Maybe the shoulders want to melt down a little. Just see, maybe. Definitely breathe. Inhale, straighten the legs, reach up. Exhale, hands to the hips, turn the feet to face forward. Let's bring the legs in for a moment. Heel toe or step them or hop them. Shake your legs out. Take your feet wide once again. But this time, we'll use the wide-legged position to fold forward. So the feet are facing forward now. Bend the knees and go side to side. So at first, I'm resting a forearm on a thigh. Sort of like getting ready for a Spider-Man type of movement. Bending the right knee, bending the left knee, side to side. Now you decide if you want to go a bit lower. If you like to walk your hands to the floor, drop your bum down low, takes on definitely more of a spider superhero look. Come back to center. And then straighten the legs a bit more and hang right in between the feet. Breathe here. Press into your feet. Slowly come up to stand. Feet press down. Ease your way up. Inhale, circle the arms. Exhale, hands to the heart. Bring the feet back in. And let's have a seat. And we'll make that same shape, but from seated. So I'm going to shift the screen down a little so you can see the feet better. This way you can see the feet and the cat. Oh, baby. So as you sit down, take the legs out, bend your right knee, and bring the right foot toward the left thigh. Then turn your navel so it's looking at the straight leg, big toe. Sit tall. Now this is one of those spots where if the hamstrings, the muscles in the backs of the thigh are tight, it may feel like the pelvis wants to curl down. So sometimes we lean back, especially when we're doing twists, but for this pose, we might take a different approach. If you're feeling a lot of stretch in the back of the straight leg, 2 suggestions. Option 1, or suggestion number 1, is fold a blanket or towel and lift your bum up a little bit. That'll let this leg drop down lower and help the pelvis to be upright. Option 2, grab a belt if you have one. And in this case, the belt is helping us to have something to connect to. Sit tall, drop the shoulders, breathe. And then start to come forward with a really long spine. So if you have a belt handy, great, you can use it here. Make sure that you don't have a death grip on the belt. It's meant for connection, but not to increase the stress that you're in. And if there isn't a belt handy, then have your hands, fingertips on the floor work nicely. Hands on the leg can work nicely as well. Breathe. Think of lengthening. I'm lengthening my torso out, not so much down. It'll go down over time, but lengthen it out. And I want to leave the other knee way behind me, the bent knee. Leave the bent knee behind. Leave the hip that goes with the bent knee behind as well. Take a few more breaths right here. And while you're in this basic position on this side, make up your own pose. It might be a pose you've done before. It might be some other way of moving that your body's liking. So you want to round your back or move your hands or make something twisty out of it and cross an arm. This is your practice. Take a moment and explore. And take a few more breaths in your exploration. That may mean the body's moving around, or perhaps it's found a spot that you're like, oh yeah, I'll stay here for a second. When you're ready, slowly ease yourself back up. And as you come back up, bring the bent knee in and switch legs. As you switch legs, Turn your navel so that it's looking at the big toe of the straighter leg. Sit nice and tall. And the same thing. If you're using a belt to help establish a connection between the hand and the foot, use it for the connection, not for the death grip. Shrug the shoulders down. Lengthen. Remember, the length is truly what we're after here. We're not really so much looking to like smash our face into the leg. Make space. And then whether you're using a belt or placing the hands on the floor or the leg, as you start to come forward, any amount, leave the bent knee and its hip way behind you. Breathing in, breathing out. And if there's any sensation that feels like it's really sharp, don't lean into that. But if you feel stretchy sensations, maybe sticky tightness, breathe and play your edges. And for the last several breaths on this side, again, create your own pose, your own variation. It might be moving, it might be still. If it's still, cultivate a true aliveness in the breath. If it's mobile, find a sense of quietness even if you're moving. Gently ease your way to upright. Unwind the legs. And we'll take one more forward bend, this time over both legs. Now you can choose. So these are a couple of different yoga poses, and we'll sort of include them all under this umbrella of fold forward in a way that works for you. So you might choose to have the feet wide, sit tall. This might be your forward bend. If the hamstrings are tight, this may be a lot of stretch in the backs of the thighs. Focus on staying tall and feeling and observing the sensation back here. If that's really comfortable, maybe you want to start to come forward. What does that feel like? Place the hands wherever it is comfortable for you. Or you can bring the legs any amount closer. This is your range to choose from. You can go way out wide, you can go kind of wide, you can bring the feet really close together if you like. Same thing, you might be sitting, focusing on the up tallness of it, or coming forward over the legs. Whatever your choice. Let the shoulders melt down, relax the neck. Let your neck choose where your head is. Make sure you're breathing. And even though this is a more of a stretchy, quiet type of pose, elongate the spine. As if your spine and your rib cage are growing up out of the pelvis. Breathing in, breathing out. If you're working with a really upright spine or a really straight spine right now, let there be some softness in the position now. Not so much concerned with any particular alignment, but shifting to an energetically softer. So maybe I'm going to let my toes roll out, the knees bend, the back relax, the neck relax, the head hang. And take a few breaths right there. And slowly ease your way up. Take your time. As you come to upright, you might roll the shoulders a little. And lie down. As you lie down, let's come back to the right knee hugged in, left leg stretching out. Go right into a spinal twist. Long spine. Now, if you get here and your body's like, ooh, that's not the kind of twist that I need right now, feel free to change the legs. Change the twist. This is your practice, this is your body, and therefore it is your choice. Long spine on the inhale. Open across the collarbones on the exhale. Inhaling. Exhaling. And when you're ready, bring the knee or knees back in and change sides. If you're doing the single knee hugged in, left knee hugs in, right leg stretches out. Come into the twist on this side. Generally, whatever twist worked on side one, repeat the same twist on side two. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. When you're ready, return to center. Hug the knees and rock. And stretch the legs. You choose, remember, if you like a bolster or a blanket or a towel behind the knees, use that. Arrange your body so that you're very comfortable and take up space. Take as much space as you want, as much space as is available right now in the most comfortable position for your body in this moment. And we'll do a brief visit through the body. Bring the attention to the right leg. Inhale, squeeze all the muscles in the right leg. Raise the foot. Exhale, lower the leg. Let it rock a little and let it be. Bring the awareness to the left leg. Squeeze all the muscles in the left leg. Raise the foot a little. Inhale. Exhale. Lower the leg. Rock it a little. And let it relax. Bring the awareness to the right arm. Inhale, squeeze every muscle in the arm and shoulder. Raise the arm a little. Exhale, lower the arm. Rock it. And let it be. Bring the awareness to the left arm. Inhale, squeeze every muscle in the left arm. Exhale, lower. Rock it and let it be. Bring the awareness to the gluteal muscles. Inhale, squeeze the glutes. Squeeze them up tightly. And exhale, let them relax. Bring the attention to the abdomen. Inhale, let the belly rise spaciously. Exaggerate that. And exhale, let the belly sink. Open up the mouth and stretch the jaw wide open. And let it go. Pull the head gently from side to side. And let your head find its natural center. Swallow and relax the throat, jaw, the tongue. Let the facial muscles relax and rest. Let the muscles all over the scalp relax. Let the muscles along the nape of the neck lengthen and loosen. Let the body plug in and recharge, restore, rest, relax. Stay right here. And let the breath flow in. And let the breath flow out. And as you rest here, you'll hear a bit of music come up in the background. And give yourself permission to receive the benefits of this rest. Imagine each inhale brings with it oxygen and healing energy. Each exhale, an opportunity to let go of any thoughts, feelings, or tensions. Breathing and receiving oxygen and healing energy. Exhaling, letting go of tension, thoughts. Maybe there's a feeling that comes when you drop into your yoga practice that you'd like to cultivate and carry with you into the rest of your day. That feeling or sensation might be something you breathe in. Breathe out whatever you like. And take something with you. And let something go. Take something with you. And let something go. You are free to stay right here for as long as you like. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe and at ease. Have a lovely rest of your day. And hope to see you on Thursday back in class. Bye now.